Everyone, this is my Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brentford, or Brentford versus Wolverhampton Wanderers Monday Night Football. I'm recording this on Friday. I'm currently in London, if you're wondering why I'm sat in a weird hotel room. It's the Finalysis launch party. Yeah, it happened by now by the time you've seen this video, but I thought while I'm here, let's make the most of it in this, hold on, let's have a look. Smallest hotel room you're ever going to see in your life. It was cheap, it did the job, but there we go. But yeah, on to the preview. So can Rob beat ex-teammate Keith Andrews and start the Wolves' great escape? We all know we've got to win at least 7 of the last 8 games, and they actually played together at Wolves, didn't they? Rob Edwards and Keith Andrews, and I watched his press conference on Thursday. Bit of an early one. A bit of an early press conference from Rob, but yeah, he spoke about that a bit, which I'll get onto in a minute. And I don't really like Keith Andrews because back in the day, I had a season ticket in the Steve Bull Upper, and you all remember the game when West Brom beat us 5-1, which got Mick McCarthy sacked, after Keith Andrews scored the 4th goal in that 5-1 victory for the Albion that day. I actually walked out the stadium, I remember, as a young whippersnapper. How old would I have been then? 20, maybe? Yeah, terrible. We don't like to talk about it often. We got our revenge in the 2-0 FA Cup win recently. But on Keith Andrews' Brentford, you've got to admit that he's doing a great job, a really good job, surprising a lot of people. They're flying high in the top 8 in the Premier League. They did go out the Cup against West Ham on penalties. Admittedly, obviously we went out against Liverpool, but in the Premier League they drew 0-0 away at Bournemouth recently. They had a 4-3 win away at Burnley in the last 2 Prem games, so they're doing okay. Now, I referred to the Rob Edwards press conference. A few things come out of it, the main one being, again, there's no injuries again going into this game. We've had a 10-day break in between fixtures from the Liverpool game. Jose Sarr is recovering well. He had a little niggle to his ankle, so most likely he'll be back in the starting 11. And it's funny because he said all that, and then the narrative was about Mane and whether is he going to have burnout, because this will be like his 14th or 15th Premier League start in a row, and this is what he had to say about that, Rob.
A great impact and a great start to his young career. We obviously think a lot of him. I think it's too early to be able to tell and put him into that bracket with those players you're talking about, literal Premier League legends there, aren't you? And but we think a lot of him. But he's got a long way to go as well, and he knows that and he recognises that as well. But he's giving everything. He's working incredibly hard, and you know, if he plays, it'll be a nice group to join.
When you are that age, nothing seems impossible at all, does it, in terms of the amount of effort and energy that you put in as well? So how do you balance that with him in terms of keeping him fresh, but also using that youthful exuberance?
Yeah, well, he's obviously fairly early on. He had big impact for us, maybe a couple of goals and stuff, but he's still been affecting games really well without scoring. He's still involved in the goals against Arsenal. He was still does things in games that maybe a lot of people then won't actually see that make him really important to their team. Like he is top of our running every game, and most days in training. So I don't think we've got to worry about his energy too much.
Yeah, so interesting to see if he starts Mane. I think he will, because of the big break in between games, and let's be honest, he's one of our best players, even though he's only 18. Also, as well, as I referred to at the beginning in the intro, he spoke about Keith Andrews and he actually praised him a lot for the job he's doing at Brentford.
He's done a brilliant job and he should be really proud, and I'm sure he will be. And it doesn't need me to say it, but I will do. I mean, there's loads of people that will be speaking really positively about him, and he's certainly one of the candidates for the Manager of the Year. I think there would have been 1 or 2 questions raised at the beginning when he got the job, but he would have had total belief in himself, and he's really quickly justified that. I think he's done an amazing job, him and his staff, the players. I think it's testament to the whole football club as well, and the way they go about the business. You know, they lose big players and they can carry on being really competitive and keep improving. They lose a really big manager and then replace him with Keith, and they've continued to grow and go from strength to strength.
So there we go, but it can be all pally-pally, but let's hope we get the better of Keith in this fixture. Let's go on head-to-head history now against Brentford. Look, we haven't met him much in the Premier League. There's only been 9 Premier League meetings. We've won 3. There's been 2 draws, and Brentford have won 4. We haven't beat Brentford in the last 4 Premier League meetings, though, which is a bit annoying. Obviously, they've been the better team the last few seasons for obvious reasons. And in the reverse game, if you remember, under Rob Edwards, we lost 2-0 at Molineux when Strand Larsen missed a penalty. A very dark day that was, a really poor game at the time, and fans weren't happy at that point. It was just before we had that little turnaround when we drew away at United and went on that little run at the turn of the year. So yeah, but let's get on to a team prediction now. For me, look, Jose Sarr has got to come back in to goal. He's been brilliant lately, and yeah, got to be Jose Sarr as our number 1 in goal. Again, I think he will start Jackson Chachua at right wing back despite his poor performance against Liverpool in the Cup. Right centre back Mosquera, Santi Bueno in the middle with Krejci back in for Toti Gomez at left centre back. Really surprising that he started Toti in that FA Cup game, if you ask me. Left wing back Hugo Bueno, no brainer. For me, the midfield 3, I think you bring Andre back in, João Gomez, and I think you go Bellegarde, and then the front 2, I think he's going to go Armstrong and Matheus Mane. So that means Tolu misses out. That means Angel Gomez misses out. And that also means Hwang Chan misses out. But that's just my prediction. Could be wrong. Obviously, Hwang come off the bench and scored against Liverpool in the Cup. So you know what Rob's like. He seems to love him. He might start him because of that. But let's hope not. But comment your thoughts down below on the team. Do you think that will be it in this important game on Monday Night Football? Let's go over a score prediction then. So, weirdly, I don't know why, I said the same on the Wall 77 Club, the last one we did. I've got a good feeling about this fixture. So with my head, trying to take my bias out of it, with my head I'll go Brentford 2, Wolves 2. That's what I'll go for with my head. Who should we... I've got a feeling Collins will pop up with a goal for them just because of the old boy narrative, a header or something, and Thiago. And for Wolves, I think Armstrong's going to get his first goal and Matheus Mane. With my heart, I think Wolves 2, Brentford 1. Thiago for Brentford, and the same scorers again, Armstrong and Matheus Mane. And if we do win, then we can get a bit excited thinking, oh, if we go to West Ham in 3 weeks' time, whenever that is, because we've got a massive break after this, haven't we? I think it's 25 days between games because of international break and us Arsenal and the Carabao Cup final and things like that. A long break. If we do win, then you go to West Ham. If you win that, then if you go to Leeds after that, you win that. Then we could do what Leicester did, couldn't we? And do the biggest, greatest escape of all time. Obviously, it's near and on impossible, but to go away to Brentford and win's a tough ask. We haven't won a Premier League game this season away from home, so it's a tough ask, but our next 3 are away, so we've got to start doing it soon. But as always, please everybody, like the video, it really helps the algorithm. Please subscribe, and of course comment your thoughts down below on this preview. And at time recording, I'm just about to get changed and go to this event, and yeah, you're watching this on Sunday, but I'll catch you after the Brentford game on Monday night. Cheers everyone.